The only witness was 9 years old, and she remembered everything. She was 9 years old, small voice, big eyes, and the only person who saw what really happened that night. The police didn't believe her. The prosecutors ignored her, but she never forgot. Not one moment, not one scream, not one face. And 20 years later, it was her memory that finally brought the truth back to life. It was a stormy night in 1996 in a small town outside Indianapolis. In a quiet, two-story home, something terrible happened. 31-year-old Lisa Montgomery was found brutally murdered in her living room. Her 3-year-old son was asleep upstairs, and her 9-year-old niece Jada had seen it all. She told police what she saw. A man, tall, wearing a brown jacket, his face partly covered, but his voice she would never forget. She said, he said her name, he knew her, but the detectives dismissed her, said she was too young, too emotional, too unreliable. Instead, they focused on Lisa's ex-boyfriend, a man with a record and no alibi. His name was Marvin Fields. Jada kept insisting, it wasn't Marvin. I know his voice. This man was someone else. Did they listen? No. They charged Marvin with murder anyway. And in 1998, he was sentenced to life in prison. Years passed. Jada grew up, but the memory of that night never faded. In fact, it haunted her. At age 17, she started studying criminal law, not for fun, but for a purpose. She began requesting documents, visiting Marvin in prison, asking questions no one else would. And what she found was chilling. Police had overlooked a key fingerprint on the back door. It didn't match Marvin. An anonymous call placed that night had never been followed up. The voice on the tape, Jada recognized it instantly. It was Lisa's co-worker, a man named David Kellerman, someone who had once been obsessed with her, someone who had been quietly questioned and released without a full alibi. By the time Jada was 28, she had built an unofficial case file thicker than the original police report. She brought it to the Innocence Project. They listened. They tested the DNA. And in 2021, 25 years after the murder, the truth finally came out. The DNA on Lisa's shirt matched David Kellerman. So did the voice on the 911 call. He was arrested. Marvin was released. And Jada was the reason. They called her a child witness, but she became the investigator the system refused to be. Marvin spent over 2 decades in prison for a crime he didn't commit, and no one has apologized. The system failed both of them, but one little girl, who never stopped remembering, saved them both from silence. They told her she was too young to know what she saw. They were wrong, because sometimes the smallest voice is the one that carries the truth the farthest. She remembered everything, and because of that, justice finally remembered Marvin. How many others are locked away because someone like Jada wasn't believed? If the story moved you, don't scroll past it. Share it. Talk about it. Because one voice, just one, can still change everything.